Next up, we have the lecture on AI, framework and application, societal impacts and future perspectives delivered by Professor Gautam Makwana.
Yes, am I audible? Okay. So this is my lecture number 4, last lecture for the today's. Okay, the AI framework and application, societal impact and the future perspectives. Now, in this lecture, I will discuss the AI application and societal impact on the AI, legal versus the ethical AI, key ethical issues, and interaction with the AI users and AI system, and the ethical regulatory and the ethical AI framework. Okay, here there are the 3 kind of the main step. One is the role setup, procedural processes, and the strategies design for the regulatory and the ethical AI framework. I have first, before starting this lecture, I just acknowledge this contributor in the that will help me to prepare this lecture to discuss the framework and the regulatory aspect about the AI. Okay, so I already told that we are just dealing with the data set, algorithm, and the output. Okay, so this is not a complete AI solutions. Okay, so we need some kind of the values. You have to put some value on the AI solutions. Okay, as a human, I am doing some things based on my input. I am performing something and giving the output, but I have to maintain some ethical inside me and some rigor aspect on me that control my behavior, and that will define the good Gautam Makwana or bad Gautam Makwanas. Yes or no? Okay. In the same way, in the machine, if you behave good for the human being, then they will adopt you. And if you are not the AI solution is not behaving good for the human, then no one will accept you. Okay, so there are some kind of the regulatory framework to be implemented in your AI solutions. Okay, so with this objective, I have planned this lecture. Okay, so here there are the many applications. Okay, again the same what I discussed in the last lecture: education, healthcare, processing, manufacturing, smart cities, automation, creation of the new content, agriculture, defense and the space, fintech and environment. Okay, so here the fundamental objective of a AI system are maximize the ethical AI development and maximize the governance AI. If you keep this objective when you design the AI system, then the adaptability of your AI will be more and having the more value for the deployment of the AI across the world. Okay, and this objective are achieved if you fulfill this 3: maximize clarity of the AI liabilities. Okay, maximize the communications, maximize the communication with the users, application, AI application to AI. So when you maximize communication, at the time the many feedback will come as a input, and that will give the more good prediction and the plus on the AI application. And then it is a maximize the social stability. So whatever we develop here, it is not for the harming the others. It is for the benefit of the society. If anything will be the harming to the society, then this will come in the bad category. Okay, so here this AI will idea give the for the betterment of the society in the many aspect. Okay, so if you maintain this objective, and with this objective maximize the ethical AI development and maximize governance AI, then your AI will be the more acceptable to the world. uh, same objective, same issue that we have to focus in the your journey of the good AI solutions. Okay, adversarial attack, reliability, robustness, explainability, bias, fairness, control, interpretability, security, and the privacy. Okay, now what are the main concern about the AI? Okay, so whenever I was in the 1998, at the time the computer will come in the market, so everyone is shouting the job will be not remain in the society. But today we have the good use of the computer, and even though we have the good requirement in the job, okay, because at the time in the 1995 or 1998 we are just shifting the analog into the digital era, okay, by using the computer systems. Okay, at the time the people are asking whether the what will be the social impact, what will be the impact on the job. Today, same way, uh, everyone is shouting about the regarding the your loss of the jobs, okay, and that will lead the social instability. So here I don't know up to the 10 year, but this is the one concern about the social impact, that the loss of the job, because the in the AI there is a minimum human interventions in the operations. Okay, or whatever the suppose I am the reader, and I am taking the decision whether you have to do this or this. So instead of this, if the machine will take the decision, then there is no value of me. Okay, in the same way, there is no value of the human when you go for the AI based solutions. So there is some kind of the shouting regarding the, and that's why we are talking about the social impact. Now, in the same way, use of the AI in the healthcare concern are ethical and the plus on the AI based device system. So whenever you adopt the AI-based system and you concern the doctors, okay, whether it is a trustworthy or whether it is the ethical ethics in the your decision made by the AI, then there is some kind of the whether if it is not trustworthy, there is no ethical value, then there is some social bad impact on the human beings. So this is a concern about your social point of view for your AI. Now there are the three concerns regarding the social impact of the AI. One is the ethical, one is the ethical, one is the legal, and third is your governance issues. Okay, here uh, uh, we can take the data, we can convert the data into the some kind of the label or unlabeled data or some kind of the reinforcement by the using the mathematical equations. But the how we can describe ethical values, ethical aspect or legal aspect in the mathematical equation. Then and then only you can incorporate it into the AI. Okay, so here we require the some kind of the theoretical framework that contain the your legal and the ethical objectives that are needed and means to achieve to them. So we need some kind of the theoretical framework for the legal and the ethical objectives. Okay, and then we have to uh, 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 we have to deal with the bias and the discrimination issue embedded in the AI application. Okay, we have to focus on the bias and the discrimination issues embedded in the AI, and then we have to focus on the collaboration between the AI users and AI system to alleviate the bias and the discrimination issue. So here the trust, how we trust build between the human to human. So there is some type of the communications, some kind of the collaboration. Then and then only we can make the trust on the any humans. At the same way in the AI, So there is need some kind of the collaboration between the AI users and AI applications, and then only we can get the some kind of the uh, uh, trust on the AIs, and then both the way trust. User can trust on the AI, and AI can trust on the users. If the AI can not, if the user are giving the bad data to the AI, then it will behave the badly. Okay, so this is your what the way we need some kind of the collaboration between the AI users and the AI system. Then there is the focus on the governance of the AI framework to guide the design and the development and integrated AI governance framework to support the AI application and facilitate the evolution and the revolution of the ethical AI system. Okay, so now next is the what is the legal and the ethical? What is the legal and the ethical? Okay, the first concern is the ethical should be the internal or external. It is a internal. Okay, and the legal are the external procedures. Okay, so here the legal standards are mandatory, mandatory and must be observed and followed. It is the external mechanism of the enforcement, and the ethical standards are the accepted by the society, and it is the internal mechanism to control. The legal AI a set of the rule and the regulation created and enforced by the administrative authority of a society to ensure that the AI development and uses are in the according with the law. And ethical AI, the moral principle that govern the AI behavior or conflict the surrounding AI development and uses. The purpose of the legal AI is to create the legally comparing the development and the uses of the AI, and the purpose for the ethical is to ensure the ethical are central to the AI development and uses. And the consequences are the development of the legal framework to provide the oversight and guidance to AI development and the users. And for the ethical, so these are the difference between the ethical AI and the legal AI. And so I already discussed this is your main objective of your AI driven applications. Now, the main issues in the ethical AI are the bias and the discrimination issues. Okay, so if you solve this bias and the discrimination issue, then you will solve the you will get the ethical AI. Okay, so here there are the two way. There are two issues regarding the bias and discrimination: technical issue and the human related issues. Okay, technically, over and under representative of the data, underfitting, overfitting, used in the AI model may lead to the bias in the decision-making processor, classification, and related outcome. Okay, then if your data is a spacey, that lead to the your dissatisfactory and biased output known as your garbage in and the garbage output. And the bias and discrimination result can be caused by the unprofessional behavior during the training process. If your training process is not done by the professionally, then it will lead to your bias and discrimination. For example, inconsistency in the data labeling. Inconsistency in the data labeling, lack of the knowledge in the domain. If I don't have the knowledge about the medical science, and if I make the featuring, then it is a lack of the knowledge in the domain, and this will lead the ethical issues in your AI model. Okay, and then unethical action may occur while developer manually divide the possible value of the target variable into exclusive category. If I am not a medical person, and I can say this image is for the cancer, and this image is not for the cancer. Without my what you call having the knowledge of the domain. If I develop the any system, then it is not a true for the ethically. Okay, the first, so that's why it is a require the interdisciplinary collaboration when you go for the AI. First, you should know the domain experts. Okay, now this will be wrong when you use the deep learning without the knowing the domain expert. By using the deep learning algorithm, you are able to make the decisions if you have the large data set. There is a different content, but ethically it is not good if you don't have the any idea about the domain, and if you go to perform any task, then the ethically it is the wrong, and it will give the wrong ethically output. Then the data collections. If I make wrong in the ethically, and even in the planning process, are to be reinforced in a feedback loop, making it even harder to discover and eliminate the bias and the discrimination in the AI. So these are the technical aspect in the your biasing and the discrimination issues. And regarding the human related issue, developer may have the insufficient knowledge of the society, social science, and pay less attention to fairness and ethical issues, lead to the bias and discrimination in the AI. If I don't know what is the social science, what is the responsibility of the social as a developer, then I will make the wrong, not considering that aspect in my developing of the AI. That will lead also the biasing and the discrimination. And diversity in the developer. If all the developers are male, then I will not consider the aspect about the female. If all the developers are the female, then the female developer will not consider the aspect about the some male. So there is some discrimination in your decisions. Okay, so there should be some gender-based decisions. Okay, sometimes we see that there is some kind of the gender discrimination because of the majority of the concern are involved in the developers. Okay. Now to eliminate this issue, require the collaboration between the AI users and AI application to enhance the users plus in AI application and enable the human AI collaboration to generate the efficiency and create the more positive societal impact. How to solve this issue? So if you involve in the data cleansing in a procedure of the spotting and correcting inaccuracy in data to increase the quality. If you provide the priority of the enhancement of the data quality, improve the trust on AI application, train professional in social science, okay, domain knowledge, well-established understanding of the algorithm and mathematical concept, perspective of the data collections, and understanding of the fairness, ethical and governance lead to the fair and trusted AI application. So it is not necessary if I know the programming, okay, I can do the AI-based solutions. Okay, so here we need there are the many kind of the knowledge is required as a developer or as a to make when you make the any AI model. Okay, so this is this will read if you get some knowledge about the domain, or it can be the domain about the other aspect like the ethical, rigor and governance. Then you are able to make the sustainable model in your domain. To eliminate this issue, require the collaboration between the AI user and AI application to enhance the users plus in AI application and enable the human AI collaboration to generate the efficiency and create more positive societal impact. Require to formulate the proper guidelines and governance policy for AI application, enhance the collaboration among the different discipline and domain, and provide the education on the latest AI technology. Okay, if I am the part of the ethical committee, And if I don't know what is the AI, then I cannot contribute to how the ethical concept can be incorporated into the AI. Okay, so we have the proper education to the different person who want to put into the AI point of views. Now, this is just idea about the when you do the collaboration with the AI user in the AI application. So it is from the user to the AI application, from AI application to AI application to the both the way, and then it is the AI to the users. Okay, and there is some collaboration between the AI and the your data set. So we need some kind of the collaboration between the all the internal part and external part of, about the what you call of the your AI specific solutions, users, AI to AI, and the data set or any object. Okay, so this kind of the collaboration is required to maintain the less negative impact for the societal point of views. Now, uh, now whenever you want to consider the ethical regulatory in the AI framework, our idea is to uh, incorporate the regulatory bodies and ethical bodies into the AI. Then your AI will be the responsible for the I can say it is a trustworthy AI for the all the users. Okay. So here what happens? There are many parts or many other than the your data algorithm and output. There are the many other external bodies will come in the picture to give the or I can say it is the review the ethical and legal aspect of the your decisions, whether the decision is the ethical or societal. How it can be decided? It can be decided by the how this can be put into the one within the framework of the one framework for the AI point of view. So here it is the ethical regulatory AI framework and the main theme, procedure, and the design. Okay, so there are the five themes. One is the policy maker bodies. Okay, second is the regulatory bodies. Then third is the your AI developers. Fourth one is the AI users, and the fifth one is the other stakeholder. Other than this four, whatever this one, that you have to integrate into your framework. Policy maker, regulatory body, AI developer, AI user, and other stakeholder should be integrated. Okay. At the same way, as a part of the ethical regulatory AI framework, what kind of the process to be performed? Okay, generally what happen we are doing with the taking the data, picture extraction, and then it is the classification and the output. But here, whenever you put into the ethical regulatory AI framework, so we have to perform the seven process. First one is the ethical review process. Okay, so there are some kind of the based on the AI output, whatever the experience, whatever the user experience based on the decision, whether it is ethically right or wrong, whether it is legally right or wrong, it will take the some input based on the decision, and this users to be submitted to the your framework that will decide the some kind of the action to be taken on the developer systems, or I can say the life cycles. Okay, so this kind of the we have to take the ethical review at the every step or every stakeholder within the your system. Now suppose the if you just take about the insurance domain, so there are the many ethical review. Many person are involved into the ethical. There are many concern are deal with the ethically point of view. So you have to take the feedback from the everyone's, and then you can make the ethical review and make the action on the what kind of the ethical part will become. At the same way, in the regulatory point of view, so there are some regulatory body of the insurance domain. Okay, so in this case, we have to based on the different aspect, based on the non-aerial incentive and the punishment process, and mechanism improvement process. What is the mechanism improvement process? Now, say the life cycle of the ethical are changing day by day. Today I have this ethics, tomorrow maybe some different ethics. Yes or no? Okay, so here there is some kind of the improvement. Today I understand this is the good for me ethically, but tomorrow I will say this is not good for me tomorrow. Then the collaboration mechanism. We require the collaboration from the different departments, different section. Then only you can make the collaboration mechanism between the different part of the bodies of the support in your any domains. Okay, insurance domain. Then we can consider there are the many department or different section are require the collaboration, education and training program. So the insurance people are not knowing what is the AI. So for them, you have to give the training to them to understand the AI, and even the AI developer are not knowing what are the context of the insurance. So this kind of thing is the education and training, trial setting and the sandbox setting. In the computer programming, sandbox is what? Perform something into the small group, and then after if it is okay, then it is spread over the bigger groups. So like this way, in the ethically perform showing the experimental in the small group of the company or some small group of the area, and then after if it is okay with the if the outcome is okay with the ethically, then it can be spread over the more geographical area or more data set. So that is your sandboxing point of view setting, and these are the design that we have to perform the trial review, sandbox review, real-time monitoring, because the ethically and rigorous aspect should be the monitor real times, and then only we can see the ethically and the ethically and rigorous aspect are maintained or not, and that will impact the society. Prompt engineering, prompt feedback, iterative evaluation, dynamic adjustment, process institutionalization, process automation, multi-stakeholder participation, education and trainings. Now, what is the framework here? Now, this is your framework for your regulatory and ethical AI framework. Okay, the machine learning and the deep learning, data set, algorithm and output. Okay, but here this is my simple machine learning point of view. But here to incorporate the ethical and the rigor aspect, we need to incorporate the disciplinary body and the legal authority, and then after the user will give some kind of the feedback to the reviewer whether my decision is ethically right or wrong, and based on the some kind of the feedback received from the users, the review will process the feedback and it will check whether it is a good ethically good or bad, or legally good or bad, and based on this the developer will get some insight what kind of the changes is required to make the more ethical into your AI. Okay, so there are the many kind of the feedback in all the aspect. Okay, in the same way here the administrative unit and the improvement unit. So here also there are some kind of the improvement required, some kind of the feedback is required in your systems. Okay, so here what happened, there are the different kind of the mechanism is required in the to make the your regulatory and ethical AI frameworks. Okay, so there are some part will be the input, some component will be the processing, or I can say it is the controlling unit role, and some other action is taken on the based on the processing. I am talking about the ethically and the regulatory point of views. I am not talking about the rule based or process based applications. Okay, general that whether the temperature is high, you do this. I am not talking about this one. I am talking about the ethically and the regulatory point of view, where we are having to see whether the AI solution will provide the better ethical solution, or it is a better legal solutions, or is follow the regulatories. Okay, so here in the real estate or in the insurance, there are the many ethical and the many regulatory are required. Okay, suppose I will go to the real agent, and if the valuation of the property is the X amount, okay, suppose 10 lakhs. Okay, if I require, if I need that property, so then agent will say it is double the amount. So it is not the ethical tool. Okay, so this is required some kind of the ending the ethical and the regulatory framework into the AI. So here need the many kind of the component which will require from the different aspect from the disciplinary body, legal authority, from the developer point, from the reviewer point of view, and from the user's point of view. So here, whatever the yeah. So mainly there are three kind of the there are three kind of the main mechanism. One is the role setup. What will be the role about the each component here? Okay, so here the mainly it is divided into the four type of the role. One is the sensor like that it will take the input, and then it is the controller like that will based on the input it will process, and the fourth one is the your actuator like role that was based on the controller like processing. It will give the action to the some component, and then it is the specific task role. So that is for the specific emergency point of view. If emergency will exist, so how the my AI solution will work. So here the mainly in the sensor like roles responsible for the monitoring the entire life cycle of the AI system, from the development and the deployment to the application, and oversee the regulatory process itself, involved in identifying the issues and providing the timely feedback to decision-making bodies, to a controller-like role, involve all stakeholders, including the developer, potential users, government and the non-government regulators, governmental ethical committee, and industry associations. In the controller-like role, it is the main job is the responsible for the processing the information from the sensor-like role, conducting the assessment and making the decision based on the pre-established rules and the guidelines. Include the entities such as the ethics review committee, disciplinary bodies, and the judicial branch, which are responsible for the evaluation of the reward and the penalty. All include the administrative unit tasked with the optimizing the regulatory process. At the same way, actuator. So here there are the in this case, it is divided. This process is divided into the three parts: ethical review process, incentive and the punishment process, and mechanism improvement process. So in this case, the pass number 1 to 7, pass number 1 to 7, up to the this pass number 1 to 7, it is the main job is the review the ethical process. Okay, so based on the this AI in and the AI sandbox 2 number, and the three whatever the input whatever the concern about the decisions of the AI system will be observed by the users, whether it is ethically right or wrong. So at the time this user will serve as a sensor-like role, and based on this sensor-like whatever the ethical aspect will be given to the your reviewer from the pass number 6, and direct to the users, to the your developers. Okay, and the developer will make the changes in the your AI system. If it is not good in the ethically, then the developer will change the some kind of the corrections through the path number down to the 5 to the your AI. At the same way, if the through the path number 6, then the reviewer will identify there is something is required to change the ethically or regulatory review, then it will inform the reviewer to the developer. Reviewer will send some kind of the input to the developer to change the review process. So this is your flow of the your ethical review process. This is from the pass number 1 to 7. So based on the your input from the your AI output, and this is your 2 paths. Direct reviewer will send the chain here, and then it is through the developer also change the your get the idea about the your ethical review process. Now after the ethical review process, we want to your second process will be the punishment or the incentive. If it is good or if I am not following the ethically, then the something to be punished to me, something to be punishment for me. Okay, so at the time this will be done by the your sorry. So this is just idea about the role about the developer. The developer may be the sensor-like, controller-like, or actuator-like roles, and based on this complete ethical review process, then the concern is the incentive and punishment process, pass number 9 to 11. 9 to 11. In this case, a 9 to 11 process are the concern about the your incentive and the punishment process. Okay, the based on the path number 1 to 9, 1 to 8 ethical review process. The second is the your punishment, the incentive process. That will there are two kind. One is the disciplinary body. Okay, for your and there is the one legal authority. So for the student point of view, the institute or university will be the disciplinary body, and for the student outside the university, so that is concern about the legal authority will come in the picture. So in the same way, for the your data point of view, some other disciplinary body that will observe the ethically, and the legal aspect. Legal body will see the your legal aspect about the your AI applications. So here now the main job of this punishment incentive is to identify the value about the punishment. Okay, so here we have to decide the what kind of the if the ethically not good. So there are the many aspects or many way the ethically not followed by the users or AI application. So based on the type of the ethical point, or I can say type of the ethical measures, and depending upon the severity of the ethical aspect, the punishment or incentive can be decided by the path number 9 to 11. Okay, so this is the just concern about the second mechanism, incentive and the punishment process. Now the mechanism improvement. Okay, so suppose what happens for one particularly, if I not following the one ethical aspect in the AI model, one X amount will be the punished, but the day by day the aspect about the ethically will change. So there is some kind of the improvement unit will get some idea from this box that if you're not following some aspect about the legal or ethically, then there is a need of the change of the rules. Okay, because all the ethical rule and the legal rule are changing day by day, and because of the some modification or amendment in the law, and based on this, there is a need of the mechanism improvement process to improve the better ethical and the regulatory aspect about your AI. So these are the regulatory and ethical AI framework that can be, if you incorporated in the any domains, then you will see the better adoption of your AI model. Generally, we just see only data set, algorithm, and the outcomes. But if you just incorporate the ethical and the regulatory body into your AI, then your adoption and the adoption of your AI will be the more variables. Now, this is not the case. It is not easy to implement actually. Okay, legal aspect and ethical. Okay, it is not easy to understand, or it is not easy to implement into the AI models. Okay, it requires the many aspects. It requires the many aspects and many design steps to follow into the this AI solutions. Okay, so it is a challenge to implement this framework for the government regulatory agency in transferring the principle into the practice in efficient, stable, and automatic AI system. Because as a human, I don't know what are my ethical values, what are my ethical SOPs. Because it is as a human being, I don't know. So how I can give the instruction to the machine to follow the ethicals? If I don't know the legal aspect, what should be the I have to follow the rules in the when I am going to the from the office to my home, so I have to follow the traffic rules. If I don't not if I not following the traffic rule, so how I can develop the any AI system based on the traffic? Okay, so this kind of the integration are lacking in the developers. Then it is very difficult to follow the ethical and the government regulatory rule or legal aspect into the AI. So here it is we have to go through this 9, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 aspect or 11 design procedure to implement the regulatory and the ethical frameworks in the AI. The real-time monitoring, because today in front of you, if I follow the ethically, but in front of you, if I not following the ethically, so who measures? Okay, how I can say I am the ethically good? Okay, in front of you I am following the ethically, but in the action of you, I am not following the ethically. So it is a wrong practice. No? So for this case, we need the real-time monitorings about the machine and everything. Prompt feedback, we need to give the prompt feedback, iterative evaluations. Okay, and then it is a dynamic adjustment. So here we have the tendency to dynamically adjust the rules and the ethically. Okay. When you go, then some policeman is standing, then I am wearing the helmet like this way. Okay, and then it is the explicit reinforcement, tire review, sandbox review, process institutionalization, process automation, multi-stakeholder participation. Now, this is your future perspective. If you include in your AI solution, regulatory and the ethical AI framework is built on the process control theory, okay, offering the innovating and novel insight for the researcher and practitioner in AI ethical regulation. So this is your process control theory. The rule are fixed for the legal aspect, even for the ethical aspect. So this is come under the case about the process control theory, and that we want to implement your this kind of the process control theory about the regulatory and ethical AI framework to be incorporated into the AI solution. Aim to translate the principle into the practice for offering the clear, actionable references for policymakers in regulatory agency to develop the ethical regulatory mechanisms. So whatever this process, it can be divided into the 7th step. Okay, whatever your ethical and regulatory should be the divided into the 7th step. So where I can get the standards, where I will get the where this standard are defined. So we have to should be established with the reference to the relevant ethical principle and regulatory given by the IEEE, ISO, IES, BIS, and local development plan and available defined resources. Okay, suppose I am going for the traffic controlling. Okay, so I have to find out from where I will follow the standards. Okay, determining the strategy entity. So to ensure the feasibility of ethical regulatory mechanism, it is essential to determine the different strategies which are to be implemented through the newly established agency and organization, standardize strategy into the procedure, divide the procedure into the step. So there are the 7 rules. It can be here: assign the role to a step, provide the resource and training, and optimize during the operation. So if you divide all this entities into the 7th step, then you are able to incorporate this aspect into your AI. Okay, so from the standards and from the optimize during the operations. Okay, so this kind of the if you follow each step very carefully, and the role of each step is defined and implement using the mathematical or stochastic process, then and then only you are able to implement into the this aspect into the AI. Okay. So this is your case about the others future perspective about this framework. Now, whatever the legal ethical aspect, how we have to convert into the mathematical modeling. So this is one of the issues. Okay, so regulatory process modeling. So developing the mathematical model to describe the regulatory process and analyze its dynamic characteristics. I know y equal to ax plus c. It will follow the linear equations. Okay, but if I so here in the regulatory aspect, whatever the legal aspect, so how I can convert into the mathematical equation, because we are putting everything into some programmings. Okay, some hardwares. So in this case, how the regulatory process can be converted into the mathematical, and how it can be having the dynamic characteristics. Here, if I not following, if I block the one rule by the 10 persons, okay, so how it behave in the legal aspect. Okay. So that is a concern about your dynamic characteristics about the any regulatory point or any regulatory rule. Okay, so this can be how we can make the modeling about this regulatory process. Okay, if I break any rule by the 10%, so how I can punish, how I can how I can control. Okay, so that kind of the thing is the very difficult to manage in the mathematically. Okay. Then the regulatory indicator system development. Okay. So we need some kind of the metrics to decide the performance about the regulatory bodies. Okay. Generally, what happens? The judges are deciding. Judges are deciding, or a higher authority of the organization will decide the any conflict about the ethical or legal aspect. Yes or no? Okay. The judges or some ethical committee. If I did the wrong thing, things in my institute, then the ethical body punishment, whether I did the wrong or good. Okay, so that committee will decide some kind of the this thing. At the same way, for the legal aspect, the judge will decide whether I did the crime or not. Okay, so now the question is how this can be implemented into the AI and how it can be the measure the performance of your AI system. Okay, so this is a new opening. So how this can be implemented into this aspect, the legal aspect and ethical aspect, and this will drive the society. Okay, if my AI system will not follow any law, it will not follow the ethical law, then no one, suppose I am not, for example, if I will not follow any rule, okay, if I will not follow any ethical rule, then what will be my value? Okay, so this way, for this case, to get we need some indicators. We need some performance metrics to decide the aspect about this legal and your ethical value. So here, establishing a scientifically sound indicator system to quantify the regulatory effectiveness and offer a potential solution to the challenges of evaluating the effectiveness of the ethical regulations. Okay, so this is in the same way regulatory algorithm designs. Okay, so creating the efficient and the accurate algorithm to enhance the regulatory efficiency. Okay, the algorithm for this aspect it is a challenge. Even same way regulatory system simulations. Okay, so here what happens? If I incorporate the legal aspect into the AI, so I cannot I cannot give that AI system to the users directly. So we have to simulate that aspect into some simulation tool because it's a legal aspect, and if I put the legal aspect to the physically to the deploy to the world, then it will give the bad or good consequences to the users. Okay, so for this case, we need the regulatory system simulation to measure or to get the idea whether this system is okay, whether it is perform well into some threshold value or not, or whether it can be spread over the masses or not. Okay, so this is your regulatory system simulation. Conduct the simulation based experiment to validate the performance of the regulatory system and optimize the system parameters. Okay, I told 10% broken any rule, then what should be the consequences? If I make the murder 7 times, then what should be the case? Okay, so this is this kind of the regulatory system simulation, and at the same way, regulatory process optimization. Okay, so we have to optimize the process of the ethical and the legal. So it is utilizing the optimization algorithm to identify the best regulatory strategies. Okay, so this is the idea about the future aspect, about what is here in the how we can make the social impact, social ethically regulatory framework for the AI. And if you incorporate here when you as a initial point, if you consider this aspect into the AI based any solution, then it will give the more and more value to your solutions. Okay, it is not just like a input data set and then it is a algorithm and then it is the output. It is not like a measure the accuracy. 99% accuracy doesn't mean it is having the good ethical value. It is not, doesn't mean it is a good social legal values. Okay, so here if you go with the incorporate this aspect into the AI model, then it will give the more value and having the more adaptability of the your systems. So in this and most of the developers are missing this concept, missing this point. Okay, it is a data set given the problem statement, data set, and select a couple of the algorithm and see the performance giving the 99% accuracy. That doesn't mean it is a good ethical values or it is having the regulatory values. So here, in summary, I just identify the various social impact on the AI. Then it is I discuss the ethical regulatory framework for the AI and role of the stakeholder. Recommended step to develop the ethical regulatory framework, and there are the many research topic that should be the I discuss about how it can be possible to incorporate and what are the way we can include this ethical and the regulatory aspect. Now, those who are having the order from the DTE, okay, so you just fill up the form, Google form, registration form, and the required fees. I think some of them are not yet fulfilled the Google forms. Okay, and one more thing is that tomorrow instead of we are planning for the 9:30 to 10:30 at the breakfast, and from the 10:30 to onwards we have the class. So it is okay 9:30 to 10:30 breakfast for everyone, huh? Or I can shift the timing, huh? It's okay, huh? So 10:30 is okay because 9:30 we have the breakfast here at the 80 hall. So everyone come in the 10:30 to 10:30 and we will start the lecture by the 10:30. Then the 10:30 to 11:30, 11:30 to 12:30. Then the 12:30 to 1:30 is the lunch, and then 1:30 to 2:30 and 2:30 to 3:30. Maximum 4 p.m. we will conclude our sessions. Okay, today we have the inaugural function, so it is a delay by the 1 hour. Okay, it is up to the 5:15. Okay.
Thank you, sir, for the insightful lecture on AI framework and applications, societal impacts, and future perspectives. With this, we formally conclude today's proceedings of the Gyan course on Artificial Intelligence and Machine Learning Algorithms, a comprehensive study. On behalf of GTU, I sincerely thank our Honorable Vice Chancellor Ma'am, Honorable Registrar Sir, esteemed Chief Guest for gracing this occasion. Special thanks to our course coordinator, Professor Gautam Makwana, for his leadership in organizing this program, and our course co-coordinator, Professor Anu Gokhale, for her valuable contributions and insightful lectures. I extend my gratitude to all distinguished dignitaries, respected faculty members, and enthusiastic participants for making this event meaningful. The sessions today have set a strong foundation for the days ahead, and we look forward for further enriching discussions and learning. Thank you all once again, and we wish you a pleasant evening.